Good morning, swimmers. So one question I often get asked is, can I drive? And I wanted to show you very briefly the driving setup that I use in my car and my van. Obviously, having no legs, it means I can't use the pedals, and although some amputees can use the pedals with their prosthetic legs, it's never felt that comfortable for me, because I've always felt the engine through the pedals, and it's not something that I felt very safe doing. So the setup I've got is, you can see that there's a kind of a spare lever here. So I've got what is called a push-pull accelerator brake. So if I push it, it activates the brake there at the bottom, and then if I pull it, it does the accelerator. Now usually I've got an indicator on here because it's just a bit easier if I've got one hand on the steering wheel to use the indicator, but I'll be honest, I couldn't afford to put that into this one, although I am thinking of changing that soon. My wife's been driving this, hence the reason why my steering knob is not fitted. So obviously when I'm using this, I need to have a little bit better control on the steering wheel, and that's why I've got a steering knob. And obviously it's detachable because sometimes my wife doesn't like driving it when it's on there. When I first got injured, I didn't actually know what the situation was going to be for myself. I didn't know if I could be able to drive. I didn't know if I'd ever drive again. I didn't know if I'd have to take a test again. But whilst I was rehabilitating at the Defence Medical Rehabilitation Centre at Headley Court, which was near Epsom, part of the process of being there was to have an assessment to see whether we'd be suitable to have adaptions and what that would look like. So quite soon after I was injured, I was back in a car again, and back on the road, and actually quite a few of the blokes really treated themselves and got some quite nice cars. I was a little bit more understated, but I still got a nice car, but it was, it wasn't as nice as some of the cars that were on the parking lot. And it was always quite an amusing thing, because most of the expensive cars on the parking lot were guys that had been injured. I remember one fear from my wife was that I'd end up sort of in a wheelchair on top of whilst I was sat in it, in the back of a sort of, like a Pope mobile, and she was really worried that that's what I'd end up in, and I suppose it was kind of the fear of the unknown, and I think she was more worried the fact that I'd lose my independence, but certainly having the hand controls in the car has given me that, and it means that I don't have to rely on anybody else to get around. So that's my setup in the van. It's quite a simple one, and just another point is, anybody else can drive it still. It doesn't stop an able-bodied person driving the car or the van. It's just another adaptation to make life easier. So that's my setup. I know that obviously different disabilities have got different setups, and I'd be interested to hear what other people have got, or if you've seen anything like this before. But I hope that answers a few questions that people have of how I get about and how I drive my car. It's a really simple setup, and one that I'm really thankful that I've got in my van, because it gives me an incredible lease of life to get around and get outdoors and get swimming. And that's where I'm off to now. I'm going to go for a bit of a dip in the next couple of minutes. Well, thank you for watching. I hope this has been of some interest. If you've got any questions, please leave a comment below, and I will speak to you soon. Have a great day.